Detroit Lions are coming off a pretty impressive showing on Monday Night Football against Baltimore. They do have a short week, returning home to face the Cleveland Browns, who played an impressive 4 minutes of football in a game where they trailed 10-0 with 4 minutes to go and found a way to steal one against the Packers last Sunday. Let's talk about this week's matchup. Teddy covers from Wagertalk.com with a big game breakdown for the Lions and the Browns. Right now, looking at my Odds Logic live odds screen, I'm seeing Detroit mostly 10s out there. There is a 9.5, there is a 10.5, but mostly 10s, total 44.5 for the Lions and the Browns. And let me start with this. All right, Cleveland's defense, number one overall defense in the NFL, has been every bit as good as advertised. The only way they won last week against Green Bay was the defense keeping them in the game while the offense continued to struggle. All right. And there's like, oh, Joe Flacco's going to be benched. Joe Flacco is not going to be benched anytime soon unless he gets hurt. And then he'll be sitting on the sideline. Joe Flacco is Cleveland's quarterback. Otherwise, they're going with one of two rookies, neither of whom showed at any point in the preseason that they were ready. And Flacco does a couple of things right for the Browns. One, he doesn't make the awful mistake. He hasn't made the awful mistake. And two, he gives his receivers a chance to make plays. Flacco's not a guy who's afraid to give guys jump ball opportunities. And that he's had success in Cleveland doing that. Obviously, at his advanced age, he doesn't want to take sacks. He gets rid of the ball fairly quickly. Flacco's not a scrambling threat out of the pocket anymore. And if you're ranking out NFL quarterbacks, Flacco's going to rank near the bottom. But the fact that he's able to get rid of the ball fairly quickly and give his receivers a chance to make plays, I'm going to two positive sides for him. I'm going to go, again, Flacco's not the guy who's making the killer mistakes. He can read opposing defenses in that regard. That being said, he had 38 dropbacks last week. He had 125 net yards, less than 4 yards per pass attempt. They're still playing without both their starting offensive tackles, Conklin and Jones. You know, of course, it's the Browns' defense. And again, they gave up 41 to Baltimore in week 2. But if ever there was a misleading, final score, Baltimore didn't move the offense. They didn't move the football in that ballgame. Derrick Henry was completely shut down by this Browns defense. And we could see the running game get shut down again. If you're looking for props in this game, I'll tell you what, one that stands out to me, David Montgomery under. All right, Monty had a huge game on Monday night. He's still splitting carries with Gibbs, and the number that he's got, he's in the 40s, in the mid-40s for his number. Cleveland hasn't given up 40-plus yards, 44 or more yards to anybody so far this season. And they faced three teams with feature back, guys like Josh Jacobs, who's going to get the vast majority of the carries. All three of the teams they faced in early season play have been with lead back opponents, and none of them, Derrick Henry didn't get the 44 yards against them. So, Monty under is one that makes sense to this better from a prop standpoint on Sunday afternoon. But from a side/total standpoint, I don't want the Browns off a win. Let me just leave. I'll make that plain and simple. Cleveland last year, 0-3 straight up, 0-3 against the spread off a win. That was a game they positively stole last week. Again, Green Bay let him hang around, and then the last 4 minutes of the game, he had some shenanigans, he had a blocked field goal, etc., etc. I don't trust Cleveland off that win, and they're facing, obviously, a Detroit team that is explosive offensively, and it showed that they're capable of doing it against anyone. But all that being said, it's not a scenario where I'm excited about, laying a price with the Lions in this ballgame. And Detroit had the dominant showing. Jared Goff team's really good against the spread. He's been good with Detroit against the spread. And this is not a Lions team we worry too much in that regard. But this isn't a big game for Detroit. They had the Monday night game. This is an exhale spot against a good defense. I don't know if we're going to see that many points. I guess is the way I'm coming down to. I'm not excited about the dog here. I'm not excited about the favorite. I am excited a little bit about the total. And again, Cleveland can't score. I know Judkins showed us something in the latter stages last week against Green Bay. I'm not convinced. And again, if they run the football, that's great. That's good for underbettors. You want that clock moving. You want 4 and 5 yard games, not 20 and 30 yard gains downfield like you get when you pass the football. So I'm expecting, and of course, given Detroit's edge rusher situation and given Flacco's propensity for any inability to scramble, I'm expecting Cleveland to try to run the football a lot. And I'm going to expect Detroit to have their fair share of struggles, moving the ball up and down the field against a Browns defense that is elite. All right? As good as any in the league. So you put it all together, and again, look at the Odds Logic live odds screen, 44.5. That feels a little bit high. It is better. More than a little bit. If I'm playing, I want the under Lions and Browns for Sunday early start action. There you have it. Listen, guys, we appreciate those likes very, very much. If you like this type of breakdown, hit that like button. That's all I ask. If you like, leave a comment below. Tell us what you think about this game or anything else on Sunday or anything else you want to talk about. That's fine. All good. Make fun of my shirt. No problem. But we appreciate the likes. We appreciate the comments. And if you haven't done so already, more than 220,000 of you following Wagertalk TV on YouTube. Get instant alerts every time these videos go live. Just follow us. Wagertalk TV. And of course, check out my homepage, wt.buzz/TC, or just visit the website, wagertalk.com. We got a $49 weekend warrior package if you want to get on board for short term. We have a great buy 1 month, get the second month $3 a day. So you get 2 months for basically less than $400. Every play, every day, every sport. That includes the baseball playoffs. That includes the start of the NBA season. The whole 9 yards. Every play. I mean, there's no nonsense when you deal with Wagertalk. It really isn't. That's a good deal. Check it out. wt.buzz/TC, or just visit the website, wagertalk.com. Thanks for watching. Best of luck with all your bets this weekend. And stay tuned right here on this channel for more quality video content. Cheers.